Diddy's living his worst nightmare right now. He's basically become the human version of a Blockbuster store. Every brand he's ever worked with has ghosted him. The FBI swooped in and repoed his private planes and mansions like it's a government-sponsored episode of Hoarders. And now his revenue has officially hit 0. Yep, he's making less money than your grandma's lemonade stand. To make things worse, his lawyers just applied for bail for the 5th time. At this point, the judge is probably like, bro, how many times do I have to say no before you take the hint? So, can Diddy escape the slammer before he goes completely broke? Or is this the official grand finale of his career? Either way, someone better check if he's on LinkedIn polishing up that resume.
Nah, Diddy's in a tricky situation.
Boy, that's the understatement of the year.
Yeah, I think it's over.
You think it's over?
I think it's over for him as like a figure in entertainment.
Right. But do you think it's over as him as far as like
jail?
he gets a cell right next to R. Kelly?
I don't think so. I don't think he gets locked
I think he
up.
skates.
I think he skates. Or he goes to like Bali.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a move, huh?
I wanted to clear right here over these digital airwaves of YouTube that the career of Sean P. Diddy Combs, as we know it, it's over. This is over. It's over in the worst possible way, one of the worst possible ways you can imagine.
Before this trial kicked off, Diddy was basically hip-hop's Scrooge McDuck. He was the second richest guy in the game, sitting on a net worth north of $1 billion. So much money, he could have bought a small country. Or at least a really fancy Waffle House. He had more than a dozen brands working under him like they were his personal minions. And he was rubbing elbows with other billionaires like Jay-Z and Mark Cuban like it was the Billionaires Book Club. To top it off, the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, literally handed Diddy the key to the city just weeks before his trial. Yep, he was out here collecting keys like it was a side quest in Zelda. Now, let's just say that key probably won't open the door to Rikers Island.
It's 2020, y'all. Yeah. And it's different than when it was 2016. You know, the game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a black billionaire's lunch.
He already has the keys to some pretty exclusive places, and now Sean Diddy Combs can add New York City to that list. It's Diddy Day in the city. Videos have been playing on the Jumbotron for TSX Broadway, and the crowd waited. Then around 11:30, the doors opened for the mayor and the artists.
The bad boy of entertainment is getting the key to the city from the bad boy of politics.
I want to thank y'all for this honor and just recognizing me, being from New York, giving me the key to the city. Diddy finally has the key to the city!
Today's event coincides with the release of his new album, The Love Album, Off the Grid.
Diddy's empire isn't just crumbling, it's collapsing faster than a Jenga tower in an earthquake. All his companies are bleeding money like they just walked into a Saw movie, and every brand he ever worked with is sprinting away like he's contagious. To make it worse, he even had to return the key to New York after his arrest. That's right, the city was basically like, yeah, we're gonna need that back, buddy. It doesn't open jail cells anyway. And those so-called best friends, they're ghosting him harder than an ex after you send a "you up" text. Everyone's suddenly too busy to be seen with him now. Because nothing ruins brunch like being associated with a billionaire in free fall.
New tonight, Sean Diddy Combs returned his honorary key to the city at the request of Mayor Eric Adams. The Harlem native was awarded the key last September, but returned it on June 10th.
All right, so let's get right into it. Check this out. This guy Diddy, when you look at his net worth, 2022, he's a billionaire. Oh, we hear it, we see it all over the place. Today, net worth roughly $300 million, $400 million. His net worth, if you look at it, was a lot of spirits. 70% was spirits, $700 million. $50 million was private investments. Then you see $75 million cash, $100 million real estate and collectibles, $75 million catalog and intellectual property. Go to it right now. Only $150 million is spirits. He lost $550 million there. Cash is lower, and a bunch of other things are lower there. So what happened during that time when you think about his net worth?
The truth is, Diddy never had any real friends. Just a bunch of business buddies who'd bail faster than a cheap umbrella in a hurricane. Even Mayor Eric Adams, who handed Diddy the key to the city, ended up getting arrested for corruption a few weeks later. Talk about a friendship circle that's basically a true crime podcast. And let's not forget, every single relationship Diddy had was strictly business. It's like the man's entire social life was a LinkedIn network. Jay-Z, his supposed best friend, didn't even say a single word about him during the entire trial. Bro, that's cold. That's the kind of silence that makes you check your phone to make sure it's still working.
This is how I really feel, right? Other than him just being a freak. I don't know how you get in that position and do all of this wild. It just leads me to believe you don't have no real friends around you.
Well,
because if you're worth $1 billion and you're the guy that has all of these different people employed, like literally you're the reason all of this stuff is happening. All of these people have jobs. You mean to tell me not one person says, bro, you got to stop around with all these drugs. Bro, you got to stop around with all this alcohol. Bro, you need to stop around with all these girls. Bro, stop it with the prostitutes. Why do you have guns in the house with the serial number scratched off? Like nobody, not one person comes around and says, what the f*** are you doing?
Big breaking news tonight. For the first time in the history of New York City, a sitting mayor has been indicted for crimes. ABC News reporting that Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted by a federal grand jury. We do not know yet the exact charges. Federal authorities have been investigating Adams and members of his staff, issuing subpoenas for documents and cell phones. Several members of administration have resigned, some of them also friends of Mayor Adams. Again, Eric Adams, the 110th mayor of New York, has been indicted by a federal grand jury. We'll have the latest online and tonight on Eyewitness News at 11.
Diddy thought he was untouchable, like the final boss in a video game, and that his powerful friends would always bail him out. Back in 2007, he bagged a deal with liquor giant Diageo to push that fancy water vodka, Ciroc. That deal poured him over $400 million and catapulted him into billionaire status. But allegedly, Diddy tried to pull a Uno reverse card and cut Diageo out to fully take over Ciroc. That's when Diageo hit him with the corporate breakup of the century. A few months later, boom, Diddy's getting sued. Just a coincidence? Or the world's most expensive karma boomerang?
I mean, for me, it kind of fit my brand. My brand, I was known as the king of celebration, the king of parties, and I wanted something that was luxurious and aspirational. And I saw an opportunity in the ultra premium sector of vodka. I was naturally a vodka drinker, and I knew about Ciroc, and I knew that it at the time it wasn't. People weren't really connecting with it, with the messaging. And so I proposed to Diageo. Maybe we enter a partnership. Let's see how it goes. I told them these, astronomical numbers that I felt I could hit. And,
you hit them.
I hit them. We take a lot of pride in the way that we have marketed and the success we've had, but we also take a lot of pride in the responsibility, awareness aspect that we brought to the industry.
When you compare him to some other people net worth-wise with Jay-Z, Dre, Diddy, and Kanye, this is what it looks like. Blue is Dre, orange is Jay-Z, green is Diddy, and purple is Kanye. Look what happened here. So Jay-Z keeps climbing. In 2011, he was roughly $450. Today he's $2.5 billion. Dre goes from where he was at $150 million at the time. He's worth roughly $980 million today. Diddy goes from $450, same place, to $1 billion down to $300 million. And then Kanye goes from wherever he was. You look at the report today, you'll either see $300 million or $2.77 billion, depending on who's doing the audits. Forbes says $300 million. Okay, so let's go look at the Ciroc deal, what happened. So Diddy in 2007 does the Ciroc deal, which is a partnership with Diageo to revive Ciroc vodka, taking a 50-50 profit-sharing role rather than the standard endorsement. As brand manager and CMO, he elevated the brand from 40,000 to over 2 million cases a year, making it a premium product. Now, keep in mind, if you don't know who Diageo is, Diageo owns everybody. Johnny Walker, Crown Royal, Smirnoff, Kettle One, Don Julio, Casamigos, Captain Morgan, Bailey Irish Cream, Guinness. They own all these companies. So Ciroc, hey, this is big. We're bringing Diddy in. He's going to take it from 40,000 to 2 million. Profitable. This is great. Let's make some money together. 2013, De Leon Tequila co-ownership. Diddy and Diageo jointly acquired De Leon Tequila, making it a deeper investment relationship. May of 2023, Diddy sues Diageo. Diddy filed a lawsuit accusing Diageo of neglecting the De Leon brand, racial discrimination, claiming they marketed it as an urban product and failed to treat him as a true business partner.
Diddy's life has officially turned into a yard sale, and everything must go. He's lost brand deals, sold his private jet, put his mansion on the market, and even had to hand over his passport. At this point, the only thing he's still holding on to is denial. His career in hip-hop? Done. Stick a fork in it. Insiders say the legal fees alone are draining his bank accounts faster than a teenager with their parents' credit card. And with the FBI seizing his assets, Diddy doesn't even control his own money anymore. Imagine checking your balance and realizing the FBI is now your accountant. To make matters worse, Diddy used his personal mansion and plane while committing his crimes. Those planes, worth tens of millions, are now chilling in FBI custody. Yep, the same planes he allegedly used to traffic minors are probably parked next to some evidence locker, wondering how they went from party at 30,000 feet to permanent timeout.
Fox Business Network's Taylor Riggs says Diddy's financial bleeding shows no sign of stopping.
All I know is that good attorneys charge a lot per hour. We know that they have a big case ahead of them. They also have a lot of those civil trials.
I had a big year this year. His $60 million private jet has already been sold. The snazzy plane, sports cars, mansions from LA to Miami and the Hamptons, $1 million in jewelry and over $20 million in top-of-the-line art, including works by Andy Warhol. That's just a short list of Diddy's physical wealth. But now, with his legal nightmare getting even more frightening, Diddy put his Beverly Hills mansion, that was raided in March, on the market for $61 million.
If people don't want to touch anything with your name on it, you have to look at other tangible assets that you can sell.
The 54-year-old's long legal fight ahead includes over 24 current cases alleging sexual racketeering. Diddy has vehemently denied all the charges and accusations against him.
And a Justice Department forfeiture action that could cost him his empire. An empire that prosecutors allege was built, at least in part, through a pattern of criminal activity, including alleged sex trafficking, drug distribution, and violence, all used to advance what they call a racketeering enterprise. In the unsealed indictment, prosecutors outline how his business and personal assets allegedly played a role in carrying out or concealing the crimes. This means any assets connected to the behavior, even indirectly, could be seized, including real estate, companies, vehicles, and aircrafts. Now, his $60 million private jet has reportedly already been sold. The Beverly Hills estate is currently on the market for $61 million. And while Combs still owns his $48 million Miami mansion, a judge denied his request to use it as collateral for bond.
No one knows exactly how much of Diddy's fortune the FBI is going to snatch. But one thing's for sure, by the time they're done, he's going to have enough left to buy maybe a Happy Meal? He's already down over $600 million, and the man hasn't even been sentenced yet. That's like losing the game before you've even finished the tutorial. By the time Diddy gets out, his bank account is going to be emptier than a blockbuster on Netflix launch day. No brand wants to touch him, and all of his celebrity friends have ghosted him harder than your ex after you asked for gas money. At this rate, Diddy might have to start a lemonade stand just to stay afloat, assuming the FBI doesn't seize that too.
Is Diddy at a level of being untouchable where he's protected, or is Diddy a target that they'll eventually put all the blame on him and make sure they get away with it free?
I mean, he's definitely going to be the black motherfucker from the bag. Because you gotta realize one thing. That boy life is dangerous. His life isn't, he's just not dangerous with the shit they said he was doing, but he's in danger. He knows too much. One thing you gotta realize is he probably having a conversation right now with the higher ups and everybody else to figure out how it's gonna work itself out. Because he know all the secrets. And if he gets to running his mouth, it could be a bad look. I look at it like the most important thing is the industry need to be built over. You have all these executives because somebody was their father, their grandfather, or all these type of stuff, and they don't give people the opportunity to grow and learn. I know when I first started in this business, it wasn't a machine. I had to be the machine. I had to figure out how to get my songs on the radio, because at that time they was getting 5% and they got 10%. Those popping champagne bottles. I went from 95% of the songs you hear on the radio was my songs until 97%. So you have to really do all this thing and really do the work. And once the work...
The billion-dollar empire? Gone. The luxury lifestyle? Poof. The global influence? Evaporated faster than cheap cologne. Diddy's friends have vanished, like they just witnessed a magic trick. His brands have bailed harder than a teen sneaking out past curfew. And all that's left is a trail of broken lives, unanswered questions, and one very awkward LinkedIn profile. The fifth bail request, the $50 million pretty please offer, the sudden trip to rehab. It's all straight out of the same desperate script. Picture a man trying to rewrite his story before the final chapter gets titled Game Over. Want more spicy deep dives like this? Smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and drop a comment. Do you think Diddy's going to walk free? Or is this the final season finale of The Diddy Show?